Welcome.
Welcome.
Wow,
Kevin.
hi there. Hi Michael, hi Muriel.
Hi Q.
Wow.
It's Q Unlimited and Michael Koran back at you.
Welcome to AHA, a human among humans. We've got a great human tonight.
Thank you.
We're attempting to do an amazing amount of presentation in 27 minutes. At least our aim is to show how the four elements, earth, air, fire, and water, all of them can be healing to us, connecting or loving to us, and prayers or manifesting for us. And I can't tell you how blessed I feel to be with Q and to explore this with him and you. So we're going to begin with one of the elements.
One of the elements. Did you want to talk a little bit about what we've been talking about
Sure,
before
yes.
we move in?
Oh,
I know we're trying to get as many elements in as possible. So are we going to get through all of these?
let's try. Let's start with
What shall we start with?
let's start with water.
Let's start with with water. Do you want to face each other? A pseudo.
We're
Kind of
gonna-
pseudo.
Yes,
Kind of pseudo into. If you move back a little bit, we can do it and kind of get both
Yes.
of us in here. All right. So let's look at the element water,
yes.
and we know that when we're doing water, let's start real simple and just moving from left to right. Just allow your body.
And the water in our blood and in our flesh is joining in with this, right?
Exactly. As soon as we begin this fluid motion, we already begin to activate that water in our body, in our cells.
It feels
And
recognized.
it feels
kind of join
recognized,
in, yes,
yes.
I can feel it.
And if we separate our feet, and we start to do this little kind of balance, like a swelling of water. Because what happens when you go to the ocean, you get this rocking forward and back, and the upward swells, and the downward swells.
And our body knows whether we're with it or not. It feels that the water in our body is a sensitive dancer, really.
It is it's receptive.
Yes, and love is being known and encouraged. So this could be extremely healing to get the fluids. The Greeks thought the four fluids is what heals your body.
Well, I can, as a massage therapist, I can tell you that a lot of illnesses and a lot of conditions that I see are due to blood and fluid stagnation.
Yes.
So you keep the body moving.
Yeah, especially for the winter.
We're
here for you.
Right.
Heal you of winter.
So
Blood.
if we bring our legs closer together, we can still get that swelling motion.
Wow.
And nice, still moving left and right. And if you keep your arms up, you can do these little waves from left to right.
And we could even let the water in our body influence. We can do it both ways.
Absolutely.
It can move our body.
We can allow ourselves just to, if you stand still, you can feel that your body has a little movement in it.
Yes, and the pulse, of course.
And
If we had a rhythm, if we were doing dancing, we could feel the blood.
The blood through the pulse,
Yes.
through the heartbeat, so to speak.
That's
of the
water
music.
too, right? That's water.
Absolutely.
A different kind of water.
It is a different kind of, it's like, I would call it a fire water.
Oh wow!
So we don't want to drink it.
No, next
we
time
don't want to drink it.
we're gonna join these elements next time.
Next time we're going to join these elements. So,
Now,
if we're doing it in a dance capacity,
Yes,
and
if
we're
we're
actually
dancing
and
with
we
each
meet
other.
and we meet each other,
so our waters will be flowing, maybe.
Yes, but we would also look at what is the nature of water. Water supports. It's something that when something hits it, it makes us buoyant.
Yes.
So that's the kind that's kind of the kind of watery element we want to come with, and there's kind of like this meeting of each other.
Oh my! I
And
can
a
feel it. It's
and a
very different.
molding.
Wow.
And if we start to move our arms together, you can feel this kind of joining of water.
So we're flowing together.
We're flowing
Oh, yes,
together.
could we flow
We're going
together?
to go up and down and up.
And it really matters going up like to certain.
Yes, if you turn your hand up, you're going to get a distinctly different feeling.
Yes.
Yes.
And you really, so you
Then-
really, it's a very sensitive dance of water. And you can have a bad relationship just with one different move.
That's right.
Or one bad move, and it could be very. They say,
Now,
"Oh,
I'm gonna turn, and you're gonna stay exactly. And see how I continue to work.
wow."
Very watery motion going
So we
up
could
and
be
down.
healed by this too, big time. And what about the prayer part, manifestation, or prayer?
Well, the very instant we intend water, that's a prayer. It's when we talk about prayer, when you're saying a prayer, you're sending out an intention.
Yes.
When we actively seek out water, we send out that intention. We're seeking out water, and in that intention,
May the
there's
water,
a healing
may the
process.
water in our body and our blood, and because we come from the ocean too, flow with and through us.
Right.
Maybe, and we can have oceanic experiences, which we're not aiming for now.
So we also know that water does these little spirals when it gets to little holes. So we're going to begin to move our shoulders and just roll them back. So now if we allow the arms and the hands to make circles, we're going to get those little eddies that you see in the little.
Now what you don't do, and I love that you don't do this, what I would do is feel the water, feel the blood and the flesh in me and let it move me.
Yeah, as you know, we've discussed that approach.
Yes.
And my opinion is that when you do that, a person doesn't really focus on extending that into the
And well, you can do both though, of course, right? I could,
Yes.
especially
once you understand the
this,
movement,
then I can let my body move with that movement.
because it'll understand.
Yes.
This is why.
And then it could be moved to do it this way, or larger maybe.
Exactly right.
or
Right.
smaller.
We can be a tidal wave.
Yes, but I've got the base. Yeah. But
crashing.
we have connected so that we can then allow those impulses
Allow those impulses to grow
with each other too, because
Exactly.
I might feel you just like a little.
And you can see,
Well-
we're moving. We've got all these really soft movements. Like, and you feel how I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm getting calmer just by following
Me too.
and
I'm
leading.
hugely. Now since we're doing all the elements, maybe 30 seconds of music with this.
30 seconds of music.
Yes.
And I'll try to find a watery song for us. Or would you like something they would play at the dance?
Yes, at the dance, and he just meet someone, and we just see if we can get a flow going between us.
All right, has a nice beat.
Yes.
So, we're just going to follow the beat. You can slow it down.
Oh yes, of course.
You want to watch the articulation
Yeah,
because
get carried away with the feeling.
water has a lot of continuity. So you really want to watch.
And
the
you never want
continuity.
to get carried away with the feeling, really, because the feeling and the body, that would be kind of blissing out on and leaving, spacing out of it, right? We need to really know how each move is doing this.
And we want to articulate those shoulders just like we did in our last show. Really, but we're still using this kind of buoyancy in the legs, right? Still kind of bouncing up and down, but it's a light bouncing, not an earth bounce, which we'll look at later.
It's like a wave bouncing, really.
We can use the shoulders, and still keep those hands kind of drippy.
That was great, Q. Let's move on to next element.
Next one, which one would you like to explore next?
Maybe Earth. Let's get that
So for
grounded.
instance, we've already talked about it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We turn
So-
off the music for a moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, now we're looking at Earth. And when we talk about Earth, we talk about stability, right? The ground beneath our feet, not the wind beneath our feet. So when we're talking about Earth, you want to feel like a bouncing, like when you're running on grass, you can feel that the grass gives. So we're going to bounce to feel the heaviness of the body. And as you bounce, it's not like the bouncing we were doing when we were doing water, where it was it really kind of stayed in kind of a central equilibrium.
Yes.
Whereas now we're
This is
really
really getting-
dropping the weight
And,
into those legs.
the Earth is bringing us up.
Right, exactly. So you're going to stop yourself and allow yourself to kind of bounce, but you're going to allow that weight to really
Yes.
hit earth.
And then bounce you
feel
up.
it.
We're not
And bounce
doing-
you up,
yes, we're
right.
really surrendering to the earth.
You can, if you do this, you kind of get an idea of it. If you just let the pick up your
Whoa.
heels
And then bounce
and
and bounce.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's the same kind of feeling you want to get when you're doing this bounce. Shall we start with the music, or do you want to
Sure.
talk a little bit more on it?
So, I mean, my teacher, my former teacher before I met you, Patrick, just had us surrender to the earth, even standing or small dance, and feeling the earth support us back, which he thought connected me to the great earth energies. He thought it was a question of divinity.
Oh, and he's right. Well, they're all divine. They're all divine. All of the elements are divine. They're all inside.
Because water is not just even in the earth. There's water perhaps in other places in the universe.
In the air.
I think they
in
just
the
found
very
it.
air.
I think they found it on Mars. Yes.
I believe they did crystallize.
Yep.
All right, so let's work on some earth.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna find that beat, that pulse of the earth, so to speak. And we're just gonna give 2 balances. And I like to bring my arms up because it gives it a kind of a woody feel. If you bring your elbows up, it'll feel even more stable.
It feels very
It feels
different.
very stable, right? So we're gonna lift each foot so you get a nice feeling of the earth underneath, right? You're gonna drop those hands with the bounce a bit so you can feel that earth beneath you.
And I do feel healed. And what is this manifestation or prayer part again?
The manifestation is the very intention of trying to connect with the ground, with the earth.
Oh yes, earth be with me.
Earth be with me. It gives you that nice grounded
And
feeling.
connecting with each other. How is this different than connecting when we were doing water?
When we were doing water, we were connecting
We were
with
flowing.
There was a flowing motion of
Yes.
this. In this, there's a kind of, and you can see it when we're doing the dance. There's this tribal connection, this kind of primitiveness to it, where we're kind of connecting with the earth and connecting with that earth and each other.
Oh,
And you
so
can feel how, just
I
looking
connect
at
with
you,
your
I just got
body.
heavier, yeah. Just looking
Ah,
at you.
wow,
So the faster you go, the more it becomes fire earth, which is at
Oh,
the core.
yeah, yeah.
So if we keep it
Next
a little,
time, folks.
yeah, next time we'll start
First
feeling later.
Sunday in February.
So when you're doing dance, and you're doing when you're using earth and dance, a lot of the native dances that that kind of keep you grounded, like some African dance, some Native American dance, you're gonna feel that.
This is very,
Very
intimate in a way, in a different way than flow is nice, but this is like our body.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you bring your arms up. It's real, kind of heavy. You want to feel that heaviness in you. You can throw your arms down, and use your shoulders
And
with
the
you.
earth is joining you with each bout.
It bounces you back
Yeah,
up. You're gonna
that's-
spring up with that earth, so that you have that supporting nature of earth the whole time you're working.
Wow. And when we're connecting with earth, describe it for you yourself.
Well, when I look at you, I don't know about when you look at me,
Yeah.
but when I look at you and we're doing it together, I almost feel heavier. I feel even more, and now I feel that kind of like I said, that tribal connection.
Yes, we're real. It's like a
Yeah,
bear.
we're together. Yeah,
Versus
we
a little
on
flow.
this together.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Real men.
Okay, so we have 2 more elements. We have another 14 minutes. Great timing. So we've done water and earth, air.
Air's a funny
For
thing.
talking too, because my voice is slowly getting better. I need air to come. My voice therapist said I need to relax my
larynx,
throat.
yeah.
Yes, I try very hard to use the right words, and that gets in the way.
Well, air, I come from a Chinese tradition where there's no air in my 5 elements, and
Yes.
the 4 elements, I believe that's mostly from India. But one thing they both have.
Greece too.
The Greeks also have
yes,
air?
Yes.
Well, from what I understand, when they speak of air, they speak of a warm air, which is again kind of windy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at the element air in its wind capacity, and in fact, part of the process of inhaling, there are these little eddies somewhere in the skull that actually help warm up the air as they go in, so the air spins. So again, you've got that kind of wind going in.
Dancing wind, really.
Dancing wind.
Oh, let's do a little bit before music.
A little bit
Yes.
a little bit before music.
Yeah, so, because that's what was our structure.
All right, so to do when we're gonna do, and we did this at the last show. We're gonna start out with this little Tai Chi move, what they call cloud hands. And again, you want to keep the hands alive, and you want to fan them open and point them and press them out, or point them so that they're facing out like so. You want to send out that nice energy and kind of create a wind. Now, one of the things that the liver suffers from in Chinese medicine, we see it quite often, is what they call liver wind. So moving the body left and right is a great massage for the epigastrals, and can potentially
How does it
strengthen
connect
it.
with the breath, our breath, and our words also? Our words are air.
When we talk about wind and air, or liver and, well, it depends. Again, I'm looking at two different traditions here.
Yes, this was challenging for you.
It is challenging
for
me.
getting into the Western tradition.
Well, when we talk about air as breath,
Or wind.
or wind, we're talking again. I don't really know how to express it in words, but of course it's part of the speaking process. But it's a nourishing and also a cleansing effect that we're getting from air.
So the Eastern tradition doesn't have air as an element.
No, it doesn't. It has water, fire, wood, metal, and water, fire, wood, metal, and gee, I can't even remember it. Fire, water, metal, wood.
It's okay.
I've lost the last, so it'll come to me.
Yes, but they don't have air.
No, not in this. But air is considered spirit, so
Yes.
I guess if we were going to look at it in the Western tradition, it would be qi.
Okay.
You know, when you look at qi, it's actually a pot. The picture for it is a pot with steam coming out.
Oh, good. So I can
All right.
take it.
So we can still work with that. All right. So let's work that left and right. So when we're looking at wind, we're going to start to do these little circles with our hands, just around like so. Let's start with one hand, and it's just going to keep coming in. Except the movement's going to be a little bit faster in the body now. So we want to make, I guess, spirals with the hands.
And again, if we're doing it like we did the others, the breath in our body will be feeling it is being acknowledged and known, and join in and eventually dance with our bodily.
Well, if you get these hand positions right, you know, if we bring our hand up, it actually opens up the
I
diaphragm.
can feel the air.
And it opens up the diaphragm.
I feel the.
When we bring it down, the diaphragm will close. So we've got that air element in the movement. So we want to come up like so, palm up, bring it around, and still palm up. So the palm's going to stay up the whole
Oh my! See, because you're
time.
feeling sky, which is or spirit.
Earth, yeah, earth and sky,
Chi
absolutely.
in your language. Now,
Now for wind, you know, really kind of spinning and getting all kind of. It's almost like drunken monkey style in kung fu. Yeah. So you've got all these lovely little spins.
Wow.
And so you get a really nice feel of the energy around your body.
yes.
You know, so the spinning really does, and turning, even if it's not a quick spin, if you keep your hands up and separated, you can almost feel the wind that's generated by the breath
by
of
the
your
movement,
body,
yes.
and not just by moving, but you're going to feel like a warm cushion of air from the breath of your skin.
Oof, yeah. I can
So,
feel it, yes.
so if you make a quick movement softly around, you might even feel like a
softly is
little
a big word
cushion.
for that, yeah.
Softly, yes. You can almost feel like there's a cushion around the arm. So
Here's-
that is wind
here's a
expressing
hard-
itself in
a
the
hard
spin.
Quick
and the
question,
body.
this could take us for many shows,
Mhm.
but I pray every morning, and part inspired by you already, earth, sky, be with all of us, and I go around.
That's lovely.
And I learned that from you, this is earth, right? And I can feel it.
And you
It's
can
not
feel
just-
it,
I used
yeah.
to just be a prayer, but now I can feel it,
Yeah.
earth. And you said, which mattered a lot, sky, and then to extend up,
And reach for it,
and
absolutely.
then to be with all of us. Anything you would like to add to that?
No, it's beautiful.
No.
I mean, but as you said, if you really, if you flex the wrist, you're going to get a better sense of everything.
Yes.
So that's one thing I have to add.
Oh.
And you're doing it. So,
Oh.
but for the public, you know, if you flex your hands, you'll feel yourself get a little heavier. So that's an earth feeling. So
Earth, yes,
yeah,
wow.
if you relax your hands, you'll get lighter. If you flex your hands at the ground,
And it really
you'll get
works.
heavier.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I know. Well,
This is-
you guys try it and
Yeah.
send us out a card and let us
Yeah.
know it didn't work for me, and maybe we'll respond.
Because Earth sky energy is like the whole weather is. Earth and sky are together make our weather,
Oh, absolutely.
and we're just part of it.
We're just part of
That
it.
is so
Subjects.
Earth. We're part of the Earth spirit,
Mhm.
or Earth sky.
So what were we just?
We have one more.
One more. And
We've done air, earth, water. We have not done fire.
we haven't done fire. All right. Well, the funny thing about fire, and this is true in mysticism as well, fire and water have a lot of the same qualities. So when we do fire, we really have to look at, you know, what kind of fire are we doing. There's a soft, warm fire that's just kind of this nice, soft, waving.
We did this in rehearsal.
Yes.
Candle.
And you really want to get your arms up because fire reaches.
Oh, I
up.
feel that. Yes. What a difference.
And notice the inflection in the hands. So you really want to get this. And now I'm going to go even further and separate my ribs from where my hips are to articulate more of that kind of fiery movement that happens with a flame. And try to get the hands into a point, right? Because usually a flame has a point. And see how the hands are moving together. So that's a soft fire.
And we talked about the fire in each cell of our body. That's a little oven.
Right, we did
Nourishing.
because they're each consuming nourishment.
Yes,
They have to burn that.
and warming us too. And so doing this acknowledges them, and they can join in the.
Now this is a soft flame.
Yes. I feel it very strong. I feel the light of it.
A happy fire would be a shake from the hips, shoulders.
That
to
was
the head.
harder for me. Yes.
So happy fire is hips, shoulders, head.
I was in trouble with that.
It's like a little sprite, you know.
I have to
You don't
very
even come up on your
So I
toes
have
when
to
you
do
do
that
it.
very slowly. I even get hips.
Hips, shoulders, head.
But the hips are doing the shaking, right?
Well, no, each part,
each part. Oh, the
each
hips?
part, yeah, this is where the articulation comes in. The hips are going to start,
Yes.
and as that vibrates up, you're going to bring it up to the chest, and then connect it to the head, left and right with the head.
The head I can do
Yeah.
better. Wow, I can feel the fire of that.
Yeah, it really just it perks you up. It's great for when you're tired.
Yes.
Like if you're running low, or you've had a really long night, or a morning that you're kind of droopy. If you just kind of perk up like that.
And then when we're dancing, I could feel my fire and share it with you.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Or feel my
come on.
water.
How many times have you gone somewhere and people talk about Latin dancers? You know the way they can move. You know, this is a classic kind of
Right.
sexy shaking thing that we do. So yeah.
Okay, we've done a lot. The last question is, and love is a little different.
Love is different.
But it includes all these elements, I'm sure. So if our dance is
If we were to speak of love,
is a love dance, really, that we're sharing love and we're
sharing warmth.
spreading love and
Mhm.
we're loving each other. So how does that connect to these four elements?
Well, again, when you look at fire, you're gonna, fire has different qualities to it. And when we're talking about people, fire manifests in different ways, right? Fire for some people may be passion or sex or sensuality.
Yes.
It's fire for another person may be that initial interest. So what some people will say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That in love is that first spark of love, infatuation.
I can feel that when I'm dancing with someone, especially it's so free because then we could say goodbye.
No, you're not married to each
Yes,
other through the
but
dance.
we just had a wonderful
Yeah,
time.
it was wonderful. I get what you mean.
But it's a heart feeling. It's
It
not
is.
not just a sexual feeling.
But you're loving the dance. That's why you're loving the sensuality of the dance.
And
it's
we're
very-
making it together.
Yeah, and right. And
Because
so it's fulfilling because you're both sharing that
So-
space.
Yeah, so there's a difference between feeling it from me let's say you do fire. Let me see what I'm just going to
Okay,
receive.
depends on the fire I'm doing, right?
Is either one.
if I'm doing
Oh, I can feel it now, and that's different than if I'm too absorbed with just doing it. So in dancing, I could get more receptive, and then respond. Yes, oh, I
exactly, but
understand.
fire is responsive as well. I mean,
Yes.
you know, if a fire breathes, so you know, if somebody gives you enough air, you're going to get bigger and more lively.
Oh, so I can feel
right?
it. Oh, it's a
Right,
big
yeah,
difference.
and you can see how
taking you in.
even the way I'm looking at you has changed. I got more desire in my eyes and more desire in my
Really?
yeah.
Gee.
You know, I mean, so you really when you know you have to look at what fire is. And when we talk
And
about
maybe back off if something.
and so yeah, somebody may have too much
Yeah,
fire, right?
yes.
So fire consumes. So there's this kind of feeling of you know I don't like to call it lust in a sexual way, but a wanting to consume.
To burn
You know,
together, yeah.
To burn together,
Wow.
absolutely. To
Become-
breathe together. And again, there's this whole moving together, right? And if you really want to get fiery, you're going to get really,
Boy,
really
they might
close.
ban
Yeah.
you. You're going to be banned in Boston.
I'm probably going to get banned. I'm surprised I didn't get out of a club.
Now, why don't we say goodbye we only have 45 seconds for our music.
45
And
seconds.
we're meeting on the dance floor, and we're just, we don't know what happened.
Well, how about coming over and doing this?
We don't do
And
that.
this- No, did you tell me that's your new trick?
What?
Walking over and going like this?
Oh,
So,
just a hi, yes, yes.
Hi. All right. Well, how shall we? Well, let's start with a nice soft, a nice soft fire. So we're still going to do like we did last
We're
time,
not going to start receiving
growing.
you yet.
and growing.
Wow.
Maybe some wind. Right.
Oh, and then we move.
Lovely. That was a lovely turn, Michael. Some shoulder work. So let's go with the beat for Earth.
Last 2 seconds. Thank you. Wow, was that a show? My lord. Was that a show, Judy?
Hey boys.